Hi everyone, and welcome to Squirrel Pie Productions, my podcast about knitting, spinning, and sewing. My name is Tommy, and you can find me on Ravelry as DynamiteTrujillo and on Instagram as Squirrel Pie Productions. We've got a Ravelry group that you're welcome to join. That is where you'll find the show notes for this episode and previous episodes. It's called Squirrel Pie Productions in Ravelry. And right now in the Ravelry group, we do have a knit-along going on. It's the Contrast Cal, and that is a sock knit-along. It's running from February 1st through March 31st, and the idea is that you knit socks with contrasting heels, cuffs, and toes. So we've got a chatter thread going right now. On February 1st, I will start up an FO thread, and I thought about it, and since I am sort of a cheater, I decided to allow cheating in my knit-along, and I'm allowing whips. So if you've already started something, some socks with contrasting heels, cuffs, and toes, or if you want to start and don't want to wait till February 1st, go ahead and cast on now, and you'll still be eligible as long as you cast off by March 31st and post in the FO thread. And that's pretty much the only requirement. Pair of socks, you can do one post per FO in the FO thread to be eligible more than once for prizes, and just be a Ravelry group member to post in the FO thread. Yeah, so like I said, I am a cheater. I enjoy cheating at things. I love playing games. But I also tend to get bored when I play games, so I tend to start cheating at games when I play. And I thought about cheating with this knit-along because I really want to cast on my pair of socks for it now, but I decided I'm going to wait till February 1st, which is weird because I love cheating. And I want to allow cheating in this podcast. I mean, I want to allow cheating in this knit-along, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna hold out. And I do have a prize ready to go for the knit-along, which I'm gonna show you now. I'm really excited about it. I placed an order with Hey Holly Ho Hum recently. I bought a skein for myself and a skein for you guys, and the skein for you is gonna be your prize to whoever wins the knit-along. So I'm going to show you that now. It is so pretty, oh my god. So it's Hey Holly Ho Hum in her Superwash Merino Cashmere Nylon base. And this colorway is called Desert Dawn. Look at that. I love it so much. I purchased this one as the prize and the other one that I'll show you later for myself. And when I got them, I was like, oh, should I keep this one instead? But no, this one's going to you. So this is Desert Dawn, Hey Holly Ho Hum. It's so beautiful. It's variegated and speckled. It's got these creams, blues, pinks, and purples. Oh, I just love it so much. It's got a little pin with a sheep on it. There's her tag. That freaking adorable little otter. And she also included a little bag of goodies. I'll send one of these to you too. It's got tea and some candy. So if you want to win this freaking gorgeous skein of yarn, knit yourself a pair of socks with contrasting heels, cuffs, and toes, and talk about it in the chatter thread. There's also an Instagram post, #ContrastCal, and finish some socks by March 1st. Put it in the FO thread, and this could be yours. Oh, I love it so much. It's beautiful. So beautiful. Okay, so that's that. Moving along to FOs. Yeah, did I talk about everything I was supposed to? Yeah, I did. Oh, wait. Okay, so I'm going to start out, before I get into my knitting, with what I'm wearing. Today is another really bright and sunny and beautiful but cold day here in Northern California. And I am trying to warm up with my featherweight cardigan. So this is a pattern called the Featherweight Cardigan, written by Hannah Fettig, and it is a top-down raglan cardigan. I knit this in Imperial Yarns Tracy 2, which is a woolen spun sport weight yarn from Oregon. I love Imperial Yarns. Their yarn is gorgeous. This is a natural oatmeal color. I used 2 skeins, and I love this sweater. I love this wool. It's very woolly. Very woolly wool. So that's what I'm wearing. Featherweight cardigan in my natural sport weight yarn from Oregon. Okay, so FOs. I have got a couple. First, I finished my Juniper mitts. This is a pattern by Helen Stewart, and they are my new mittens. Yay! I'm really happy with how these came out. I love this yarn. This is Madeline Tosh Mountain Merino Sport in the rose-colored glasses colorway. It's part of her kind of natural farm wool line that I bought directly from her website. It's a natural color with these pink and black and gray speckles. And this is a non-superwash 100% merino wool, and it feels so good. I love, love, love how these turned out. I love them. So this pattern, the Juniper mitts, written by Helen Stewart, was written for worsted weight yarn, and I scaled the pattern down by using a sport weight yarn. It was a one-size-fits-all pattern, and one-size-fits-all does not ever work for me. So I knew they would be too big if I knit them as written. So I went down to a sport weight yarn. I downsized the needle sizes too. I can't tell you what the pattern calls for, but you can look it up on Ravelry. What I used was a size 2 for the cuff, right? Yeah, size 2 for the cuff and a size 3 for the rest of the mitten. And I knit the pattern exactly as written from the cuff up to the thumb gusset, and then I extended the thumb gusset by 2 increase rounds. So pretty much by 4 proper rounds. I increased 2 times more than I was supposed to. And then I did more patterns, repeats on the hand to make it longer. I also altered the way that the fingertips were done. So she calls for pretty much the same thing as a wedge toe in the pattern. And I did that, but I added 1 round instead of doing, well, I guess I don't know if I should tell you because it's a paid for pattern. I made this wedge part longer than called for in the pattern, so I pretty much added plain knit rounds in between the decrease rounds so that it would extend it. Because I knew that was an issue I had with the wedge toe, and like I said, this is pretty much a wedge toe. I don't like how shallow it is, so I didn't think I would like how shallow it would be for the fingers either. So I just made it a little deeper, and I really like how it came out. And I love this pattern. It's a knit purl stitch pattern. In kind of a chevron-y sort of pattern. These were really, really fun to make. I did a 1x1 ribbing on the cuff, which I think that's what it was called for. I may have changed it up. I can't remember. But I highly recommend these mittens. If you do have a smaller hand and find that one-size-fits-all mitten patterns are usually too big for you, you're welcome to take a look at the Ravelry notes on the project page for these mittens. I have a 6.5 inch hand. So if that's what you have too and you're interested in knitting these, take a look at my notes and you can see what I did to alter them. And I'm super excited about these. Next, I want to do a pair of fingerless mitts because, as I said in my last episode, I gave away my only pair of fingerless mitts. So I'm going to take a look through my stash and see if I can find some more worsted weight yarn that I want to use. So, mittens. I finally get to wear these now. They've been done for a couple days, and I go on a walk around my neighborhood every morning at around 7 in the morning, and it's been freezing lately, so I've been really wanting to wear these, and I can't wait to wear them now. So again, this is the Juniper Mitts pattern by Helen Stewart. Awesome. My other finished object, which I'll show you after I take a drink of water. Squirtle. She's just looking at me like, F you, lady. I'm drinking coffee this morning. So my next finished object is sock number 1 in my box of socks. January socks. Yeah! So here they are. Which way do I move? There we go. Okay. So these are the Hermione's Everyday Socks in Woolen Vine Yarns on her footsie base in the Pandora colorway. And they are beautiful. I love them. I love them so much. Let's see, I'm entering these in the box of socks knit along as my first socks of 2017. Also the year-long Harry Potter knit along. Okay, so the box of socks is in the Yarngasm Ravelry group. And the year-long Harry Potter knit along is the inside number 23 knit along that's going on. And they're Hermione's Everyday Socks. I'm really, really, really happy with these. I feel like it's bringing a little bit of Hermione Granger into the world right now, which I think is kind of needed. I saw an Instagram post by Bristol Ivy, I think, and she was holding a sign that said something like, "Be the Hermione Granger that you want to see in the world." It was something like that, and I thought it was amazing. And it made me really happy that I had just knit these socks, because I feel like that's doing that for me. So this is a really beautiful pattern. The socks fit so good. I cast on 56 stitches from the top down for my socks, and I do a 2x2 ribbing. Went into the Hermione's Everyday pattern, which was a little bit of a slog for me, but I love how they turned out. It's really beautiful and they fit really well. I do a slip stitch heel flap and gusset with a regular heel turn. And down on the foot, I did the patterning on the top, left the bottom stockinette, and this yarn in stockinette is just so amazing. I love it so much. The toe is my standard, what I call a rounded toe with Kitchener, and it's my favorite toe. It's got a little bit of both worlds, a little bit of this sort of rounded toe that usually comes out to a point, but it's got the flat top like a wedge toe usually does. If you're interested in, I think they fit really well. They fit me the best out of any toe I've ever tried. And like I said, it's kind of a hybrid between a rounded toe and a wedge toe. And what I've done in the project notes for these socks is I've written out exactly how I do this toe. So if you're interested in trying out a new toe, I think this fits great. I love how this fits. You'll find the instructions as kind of made up by me in the project page for these socks, which are my Pandora socks on my Ravelry projects page. So those are the specs. I used a size 0 Carbon's needle for the cuff and a size 1 Haya needle for the rest of the sock. And I do magic loop on a 32-inch cable. And I love them. I love them so much. My next pair is definitely going to be a pair of vanilla socks, because after all of this textured knitting, I really want to knit a pair of vanilla socks. And like I said a few minutes ago, I'm so tempted to cast on my contrast cal socks right now, but I really want to wait. I don't know why, but I really want to wait until February 1st. But I think that's like next Wednesday, and it is Friday right now, and I don't want to wait that long. So I think I'll try and find something else to cast on in the meantime, socks-wise. I don't generally like having more than one pair of socks on the needles, but I might have to do that. I might have to do that. And look at these colors. They're just insane. Speckled pinks and blacks and grays. Again, like my mittens. They're so February, so Valentine's Day. I love them. I'm totally going to wear these on Valentine's Day. And I'm actually going to be in Hawaii on Valentine's Day. My husband and I are taking a short vacation to Hawaii, and we'll be there on Valentine's Day. So I don't know what the weather's going to be like, but I'm a sock person. I don't really like going barefoot. I like going stocking-footed, so I'll probably wear these, even if it's warm. And those are my finished objects. Mittens and socks. Which I'm super stoked on, because I really needed mittens. And I always need socks. I only wear hand knit socks and smart wool socks. I think that's kind of one of many names for them. I don't wear any other store-bought socks other than those. And I think I would say I about 50-50 wear hand knit socks versus smart wool socks. And if you don't know what smart wool socks are, you should look them up, because they're awesome. They're the best socks in the world. Before I started making my own socks a few years ago, I exclusively wore smart wool socks. And even when it's not very cold out, I wear them. They fit awesome. They're warm. They're the best. They're like, I get them at the local sporting goods store, and I think the brand I usually buy is Wigwam, and they're like, I don't know, they're like hiker socks or something like that. I think they're called smart wool socks. Maybe if it's a different brand, it's called that. I don't know. But they're pretty great. I wear a youth large, and I wear a 5.5 size shoe, in case you're interested. Other than hand knit wool socks, they're the best socks ever. Okay. So, next up, did I mention that the Pandora socks are on Volan Vine's Footsie base? Because they are, which was amazing. It's the first time I've used that base and I really liked it. It's an 80/20 BFL nylon blend. Okay, whips. I have a couple of whips. I spent most of my time finishing those two projects, and I'm kind of itching to cast on more things, because I feel like I don't have enough things on the needles right now that those are done. But I have the opposite problem of people who have the cast-on-itis issue, where I want to cast on, like, something, but I get, like, paralysis, like cast-on paralysis. Like, I can't figure out what it is I want to cast on, or how to pick yarn and needles. So I'm kind of in that phase right now. But let me show you what I've got going on right now. First, in my Gasly's bag, with the pink pom-pom, I've got my Paint the Town shawl. First I'll show you what I have, and then I will tell you what I plan to do. Here is what she looks like so far. This is a stockinette shawl, and it's a pattern by Jumper Cables on Ravelry. I am using size 5 Haya Haya for my interchangeable set. And it's kind of a large rectangular stole. It's got a point right here created with a center double decrease, and it doesn't change width at all. It's just knit straight all the way up. And like I said, it's stockinette, and it's got these panels of garter up the sides and this couple rows of garter here at the bottom. And I've been enjoying working on this, but I've decided that I don't want it to be stockinette. I think I'm just so into, like, I made 2 Anissa shawls, the last 2 shawls I made, and those are giant rectangular wraps that are garter. And I'm knitting this stockinette, and while I love, love, love stockinette, and I don't mind purling back on all the purl back rows, I just want it to be garter. I mean, it's smooth and it's drapey and it's thin, which is nice, but I picture myself just wanting this to be garter when it's done, to have that squish factor. So I didn't get very far on this because I pretty much got to this point and I decided, I knew that I was going to want this to be garter. So I'm going to rip this back. Not all the way. There's, like I said, there's a few rows of garter here at the bottom, so I'm just going to rip back to that point and continue on in garter and go from there. So thought I'd show you what I did so far, and now you can say goodbye, because next time it'll be gone, and hopefully it'll be bigger but different next time you see it. So I am using 3 different yarns. The first is Madeline Tosh BFL Light in the Solo Speckles Teal colorway. So this is a single ply BFL, 100% BFL yarn, natural color with teal speckles. Then it's going to transition into same base, Madeline Tosh BFL Light. This is the Peppermint Patty colorway. It has got those same teal speckles and pink speckles, which makes me really happy. Yarn number 2. Yarn number 3 is my first time using Hedgehog fibers. This is the sock base. And this is the Exploding Peacock colorway. So it also has teal and pink speckles and yellow speckles too. Right? Look at that. I love it. So this one is something. Here we go. 90% superwash merino, 10% nylon. And this is a plied yarn. I gotta say, I haven't knit with it yet, but I don't love the way that it feels. Don't know why, but we'll see when I knit with it what it feels like. It's a plied yarn going with 2 singles yarns, but that doesn't bother me. I'm fine with that. It would be cool if it was the single ply, but it's not, and that's okay. So this is pretty much what it's going to end up looking like. And I think it's going to be amazing, especially now that I've decided it's going to be garter. And I won't I guess if I don't show you what I wrote, there's nothing to show you. But here's my stationery. Some Hello Kitty stationery, and under my hand is my little cheat sheet. Since it's a 2-row repeat, I didn't want to print out the pattern and have like a 3-page pattern for 2 rows over and over again. So I like to rewrite my patterns generally, if they're easy and short, on a little piece of note paper, and just carry that around with me rather than referencing a whole pattern when I only need like that much of it. So that's what that is. And I'm excited about this. I think I need to get a longer cable because I keep losing my end stitches. It's okay. It is sheddy. This single ply BFL flies around everywhere when I'm working with it, which is bothersome to me and my eyes and my nose and my mouth. But it's okay. It hasn't been that bad. But I will rip this out probably later today and get restarted on it. And I think I'm going to love it even more once I do that. I think. Gaslies. This sweater's so warm. I love it. I love it so much. And I got fiber in my coffee doing that, so that's it for that coffee, I guess. My water's okay. Next work in progress is something that I have not started yet, but I have swatched for. It's my next sweater, and this is the Brownstone Pullover. It's a pattern by Jared Flood. It's a shawl collar pullover. And this is going to be for my mother's boyfriend, who requested a smoking jacket. And what he meant by smoking jacket when he explained it to me was a shawl collar pullover. So that's what he's getting. It is in this Cascade 220 yarn. The color is navy, and he wanted a navy sweater because he is a Cowboys person, the football team, and he wanted a Cowboy sweater because he has, I think his entire wardrobe consists of Cowboys related things. So I got this. I got 10 skeins of this, I think. And I'm knitting the extra large, I think. It's going to be really big. I also got 1 ball of silver gray so that I can put a star in somewhere on the sweater. I don't know where yet. I haven't worked that out. But here's my swatch. I swatched on US size 8 needles on my Knit Picks interchangeable wood set. I think it's called Sunstruck. And I mostly got gauge. The gauge required in the pattern is 18 stitches by 28 rounds. And I got 18 stitches by 24 rounds. And looking through projects on Ravelry, specifically projects on Ravelry using Cascade 220, I don't think hardly anybody got the 28 round gauge. So I'm not too worried about it. I debated back and forth on whether to just knit it as written or to try to alter it for the row difference. And I will definitely be using, you know, the measurements for the length rather than like counting rounds. But as far as like the increases or decreases for the raglan, we'll see where I end up with that, if I alter it or not, since I didn't quite get row gauge. But I think this is going to be good. I like the fabric I got. It's going to be a gigantic sweater, but it's on size 8 needles with worsted weight yarn, so I think it'll go pretty quick. It's a very solid navy, which I find it a little boring to knit with totally solid colors, but I think it's going to be fun. It's a stockinette sweater. It's done in the round. Easy, mindless knitting. That's totally my fun place. So that'll be fun to start soon. I haven't gotten to casting on yet. I believe it's a bottom-up pullover, and it calls for you to knit the sleeves first, which is a method I've never done before. So we'll see. Seems fun. And that's living in my fat squirrel bag, which is giant, and it has these green birds on it. And I love it. Last whip is my crochet granny stripe blanket. And this one is in my other fat squirrel bag. This fat squirrel bag has goats and flowers and skulls and a hand. Birds too. And there she is. This is my granny stripe blanket so far. Totally in love with it. Totally in love with it. So this is what I have so far. She's pretty long. I started with about 300-ish chain stitches, and I'm using a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook, and I bought a new crochet hook because I'm awesome. This is a tulip hook. So I've been trying for like a minute and a half to get this hook to focus, and I cut it all out, but it's a crochet hook. I can't get it to focus, but I'm giving up. So I bought a tulip crochet hook, originally introduced to me by Michelle Wong on her podcast in one of her favorites episodes, and I'm really liking it. I decided I needed to upgrade from my aluminum boy hook, and I'm really happy I did. This one is a little different in terms of how it grabs the yarn and in terms of the length of the usable part of the shaft. So it took a little bit of getting used to, but I love it. This grippy handle is just wonderful. And the big thing that started bothering me about the aluminum boy hook is as I'm working with it, right here, your finger slides against it, and just the feel of the aluminum over time with that motion happening over and over and over started to, I don't know, there's this weird like icky sort of zingy feeling that I feel like these aluminum hooks and needles give you, and it started giving me that feeling right there constantly. So I decided I wanted to upgrade, and I'm really happy I did. I looked around and tried to find a crochet hook that I really wanted, and I honestly, there's so many of them that it was kind of hard to choose, and I was looking online so I couldn't feel them in person. I knew I wanted something with a handle that wasn't metal, and I ended up going with this one just because I had seen other people use it and like it, and so I bought it, and I'm really happy I did. Plus it's pink, so, you know, that's not terrible. I'm really, really enjoying this hook. So again, that's the tulip hook, 3.5 millimeter. It doesn't say the letter on here, but it's an E, I think. And that's what I'm using. Here's where I am so far. I'm just using a whole bunch of scraps, leftovers, mini skeins. I like the color so far. I'm not being too picky with my color selection, and I like how it's turning out so far. There's kind of one section that I don't like, that I think is kind of ugly, but it's okay. I'm okay with ugly. And it looks really good on screen. You can't see it. But this row right here, this yellow row, it looks like kind of really pretty buttery creamy yellow on screen, but in real life it's like primary yellow. And I'm not the biggest fan of primary colors. Like bold, bright primaries, I'm not that into. But, oh, I just love how it's coming out. The very last yarn that I left off with is the hand spun that I used in my last Anissa shawl. Right underneath that, this pink is Two Guys Yarn Company. Right underneath that is my Pandora Woolen Vine. And we're just going along. So much fun. I will say the same thing I said last time and that I've said every time before. This is the funnest project I think I've ever worked on in my entire life. And I never thought I would say that about crochet, because I've never tried crocheting before. But I'm really glad I tried it, because I love it. It's moving along pretty quick. I love how it folds up. And I don't know when I'll be done with this, but I already have plans for my next one. And this is actually something that I've wanted to do for a long time, that I wanted to before I ever had the idea to do this. And I mean, everybody was doing this one, so I totally had to do it too with the fingering weight yarn. But what I want to do next is a heavier weight version out of all of my hand spun, because I have a hand spun stash, and I knit with my hand spun pretty regularly, but there's a lot of it that I haven't knit with yet, and that I look at it and I love it, but I don't really know what to do with it. And a lot of it is kind of DK to worsted weight, and I think I want to make a crochet blanket with that. And I'm not sure if I'll do color blocks yet, or if I'll stripe with several skeins. I'm looking at my hand spun basket right now, and I kind of want to show you, so I'm gonna go get it. Okay, so here's my hand spun basket. I keep it in my living room because it's beautiful. And this is all the hand spun that I've made that I have not used yet. And I just think it would be so cool to put this all into a blanket. I've got this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. I'm not going to tell you what any of it is, because that would take way too long. But I feel like I really want to use this stuff, but I always look at it and I'm like, well, what do I do with that? I don't know. Do I make a hat and then have a bunch of leftover that I'm not going to know what to do with? So I think I want to pick out, like, I don't know, what, 5, 6, 4, something like that, skeins, and just crochet a blanket. And I think that would be really freaking awesome. I really like this one. I'll tell you what this is. This is Into the World in English Shetland, the Andrasti colorway. And this was my, I think it was my first, maybe my second. This was a an attempt at long draw woolen spinning. And I love how it came out. I've tried to woolen spin before, tried to long draw before and since this, and I think this was the time that it came out the best. Okay, hand spin. Hand spun basket. I love this basket. I keep it in this shelf. There's a compartment. This shelf is really weird. It's got a lot of really weirdly shaped shelves and compartments. It's solid redwood. I love it. It's the coolest piece of furniture around. And there's one little compartment that fits this perfectly, and it just sits in there, and I love it. Oh. Anyway. So that was the crochet talk for the day. I love that blanket so much. I just want to work on it all the time. In my crochet blanket bag, I keep this little bag that I made with the cats with antlers. And I keep minis in here and leftovers, stuff that I can just kind of pull from. And that's all my works in progress. I do have some spinning to share this week. I did finally finish my Into the World Superwash Targhee. And this is the Great Minds colorway. It's these deep jewel purples and mint greens, and there are some like more army greens in here too. And I love it. Came out super plump, really, really fluffed up. And I spun this short, forward, and backward draw, which is kind of my standard in spinning. I'll do a combination of short forward and short backward draw, just because I'm not that worried about consistency and I like the variation, you know. So I did a 2-ply, and I would say it came out to like a maybe DK, like a DK-ish. It is 386 yards is what it turned out to be. And when I skein up my hand spun, I use a nitty knotty. So it's probably not terribly accurate with the yardage because I measure yardage on the nitty knotty before I wash it. But I kind of hate using a nitty knotty, so there's like no way I would skein it on a nitty knotty, wash it, reskein it again on the nitty knotty to count yardage again. No. I wish I had a better method of skeining yarn, because I hate using the nitty knotty. I don't know, it's so boring. And it's not like I can do it and watch something or listen to something at the same time because I'm counting as I'm doing it. It's so boring. I'll show you my nitty knotty. It's right here. This is it. It's a beautiful piece of equipment. I really love it. It's just such a pain in the ass to use. I wish I had an electric reskeiner. That would be fun. But I bought this up in Oregon. It's handmade by a local woodworker up there. When I went on a trip at some point, I found it. And it's really beautiful. I love it. It comes apart and adjusts and stuff. And it's a 2-yard nitty knotty. So every time you wrap around, it's 2 yards. So that's this. Oh, I love it. It's beautiful. I don't know what I'll make with it though. I did have the idea of doing a bandana cowl with it because when I was spinning this, I saw Legacy Knits, one of them, doing a bandana cowl, and I kind of wanted one. But we'll see, I don't know. Might be another skein for Project Blanket. So again, this is Into the World, whose fiber I love. I adore Into the World fiber. I've never knit with their yarn, but their fiber is amazing. It's so good. The Great Minds colorway Superwash Targhee, 2-ply, DK-ish, handspun. Upcoming spinning, I've got this on my wheel right now, and I will just show you the fiber. I'm not going to take the bobbin off the wheel because I'm scared to. But this is a loop bullseye bump. Oh, and look at those colors. It's pink. So it's a gradient. The outside is this hot pink. And then it goes into a lighter pink, into kind of a magenta, into this kind of plum color. Past this, I've already spun like a kind of a deep mauve, and then it started on a grayish, like kind of a stone gray, like a grayish brown, and it's really beautiful. So it's a loop bump, and the colorway is Femme Fatale. This is a 4.3 ounce bat, and it's merino, nylon, and Angelina. And I debated on what to do with this. Since it has nylon in it, I kind of wanted to use it for socks. I'm not the biggest fan of nylon, and so I like to keep my shawls and stuff without nylon if I can. If I can't, whatever. But since it had nylon on it, I thought it would be cool to use it for socks, but it's a gradient, so the colors, I couldn't think of a good way to make the colors work for socks that I wanted to go with. There's ways to do it, but nothing I really wanted to do. So what I decided to do is to spin this up into a singles yarn, which I've never done before, and I'm excited to see how it turns out. I'm going for a fingering weight single. I tend to want to spin thinner because I think my standard goal is to get a 2-ply fingering. So in a lot of spots, this is like a lace, and then it goes back to a fingering. Whatever. I'm not a consistent spinner. I don't care. I am not at all a perfectionist in my crafting. I just don't care about it. I don't care about things being perfect or the way they should be or flawed. I'm okay with flaws pretty much. I really don't care. So it's uneven, and it's going to stay uneven because it's not going to get plied. But I'm really, really excited to see how it turns out. Like I said, I've never done singles yarn before in hand spun, and I haven't read up too much on it. I've heard other people talk about, and I have read in the past about techniques for spinning singles, but I didn't look into it again when I started this. So I'm kind of just going based on my memory of how to do it. I'm doing it with a little bit less twist than I generally do because it won't be losing any of that twist in plying. So when I started, it was giving me trouble because it kept breaking because I wasn't giving it enough twist. But I think I've gotten into a groove with it now. I think it's fine. I did switch to my larger whirl. I have 2 sets of whirls that came with my Ladybug wheel, which is a shocked wheel. And there's a smaller whirl and a larger whirl. And that controls how fast your bobbin spins. And I've always used the smaller whirl, and this time I went with the larger whirl. I don't know, I like it. It's going good. Like I said, I'm not a perfectionist. I'm also not a technical spinner. I don't test, I don't sample, I don't keep notes, you know? I just kind of go with it and see what happens. And it's working out well so far. I am not sure whether or not I will try fulling it. If you've ever heard of fold singles, it's when you hand spin singles yarn, and then when you wash it, you thwack it. So you soak it, you squeeze out the excess water, and you bang it on the counter or something, and that essentially very slightly felts it. And I think that's to kind of keep the structure of the yarn since it's a single, so that it won't, I don't know, untwist, I guess. I don't know though. I don't know if that's necessary. I don't know if I'll do it. I'll probably look into that before I finish it. But it's really exciting because it's going by really fast. And I know I'm not going to have to do that extra step of plying, so I'm so excited. And I mean, I'm a pink lover. Oh, and that's hot pink. And those are light pinks and mauves and grays. And it's just beautiful. I bought this from her website years ago, and I've never used it until now. So that's cool. I have big dreams of using that in an Amba O'Brien shawl. As you might know, I love Amba O'Brien's patterns, and she has several shawls where it's a gradient striped with a non-gradient yarn. So I'm hoping it'll work out for something like that. We'll see. That's it for spinning. Next, I am really excited to show you my first dyeing experiment. I mentioned a few episodes ago that for Christmas, my lovely mother bought me some Dharma Trading Company acid dyes. And I did a little dyeing last weekend. I only did one skein, and it was super quick. I just kind of, I didn't really plan. I didn't write down what I did. I just kind of picked out a couple of things and threw it in and wanted to see what would happen. And this is what happened, and I love it. Ah! Look at that. I think it's so cool. I'm so happy. I'm so impressed with myself. So it's like this, I don't know, kind of deep, dusky, pinkish purple, kind of. With, I tried speckles. There's some speckles right there. Haha, aren't they cool? I did some blue and dark gray speckles. So there's some of those over there. So I'm so stoked. Look at that. This looks like real yarn. This was so much fun. It was so much fun. I felt so cool doing it. So I really, really want to cast these on into a pair of socks. By the way, this is a 4-ply, 100% superwash merino fingering weight yarn. And oh, I'm just so happy with it. I think this might be my socks that I cast on like as soon as I'm done podcasting. I was kind of thinking I wanted to do gray contrasting heels, cuffs, and toes, but we'll see. I don't know. Ah! Look at that. I don't know what else to say about it. I kind of just want to keep showing you. So awesome. I can't believe I did this. I'm so stoked. Yeah, look at that. Anyhow, I made this. And I'm really excited about it. So I'll probably cake this up in a little while and use it. I just can't believe I did this. I'm so impressed. This was so fun. It was so fun. I did watch the Craft C video called like Professional Dyeing at Home or something like that, taught by who I think is or was the dyer behind Cephalopod Yarns. I think that's what was going on. I'm not really sure though. I learned a couple of good things from that Craft C class. I learned a couple of good things. That's what I'll say about it. And is that it? Is that it? I think, oh, I have one more thing. Stash enhancement. I did buy that yarn. Remember that I'm going to give you to whoever wins the knit along. I bought another skein for myself, and this is called Frankly Lisa. Look at that. Oh yeah. Inspired, I'm sure, by Lisa Frank, my childhood hero. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Oh my god. I'm so excited about this yarn. And I got a sheet pin too. Mine's pink. Oh my god. Look at, I don't know what to say about it. I love it so much. This is my first time ordering from Hey Holly Ho Hum, and oh, I'm so excited. I love Lisa Frank. And I'm going to love my Lisa Frank socks. Maybe I should cast on this today. I have too much sock yarn that I want to cast on. I want to make it all right now. Look at that. Ugh, it's just so pretty. So yeah, it's these like kind of, if muted neons are a thing, I feel like that's what this is. It's not quite pastel, but not quite neon. I can't wait to see how this knits up. This is on her Superwash Merino Nylon Stellina base. And oh, look at it. Look at her tags. Look at that. Pink ink. And look, after Frankly Lisa, she put a heart there. This is a woman after my own heart. Yeah. So, I don't know if you've heard of it. It came out maybe last year or the year before, I don't know. But I don't know if it's still in the Lisa Frank company or if somebody else put it out. But somebody started up a Lisa Frank clothing line. Yeah, and I want some of that so bad. You can get stretch pants with like the neon tigers on it and stuff, and dolphins, and unicorns, and Pegasus, and pandas. Remember the pandas? I really want some of those clothes. I was a huge stationery nerd and a huge neon animal nerd when I was a kid, and still am. And this makes me really happy. Anyway, I bought this. This will be socks. So I don't know. Which one? Oh, I threw it over there. I have a bad habit of throwing things. What do I cast on next? This one or this one? This one or this one? This one or this one? Unfortunately, your opinion isn't really going to matter because whatever one I go with, it's going to be cast on like as soon as I'm done recording this podcast. So, I guess you'll see later which one I choose. Okay, that's it. That's it. For my favorite section, I don't have anything specific to talk about. Nothing happened. I'm not doing anything new. But I thought I might talk a little bit about my actual favorite things, since this is my favorites segment. So, I like a lot of things. I'm like super in love with a lot of things. But my 3 favorite things in the entire world I've learned about myself throughout my life are animals, food, and fiber. And I've thought about it a lot, why I like those things so much. And if my life could completely consist of those 3 things, I think I would be, I'm happy now, but I think I would be so super happy. I think it would be my dream come true. Which is why I think, you probably don't know this about me, but my dream life has always been to be vaguely self-sufficient on my own farm. Not like a huge farm. And not like, pretty much like a farm / ranch to support myself and maybe small time in my own community. And ever since I was little, pretty much my favorite things, my favorite things have been animals. I love animals. I'm an animal person. You put me in a room full of animals all day long and I'm happy. I'm fine. That's all I need. I'm way more comfortable around animals than people, and I just love animals so much. I love all animals. And my favorite animal changes like weekly, especially if I'm watching nature documentaries. I have a new favorite animal like all the time. I think currently, no, I don't know. Classically, I'd say my favorite animals are bats, because they're flying mammals. awesome. Lemurs. If you've never seen the Madagascar series of documentaries from the BBC, yeah, you should, because your favorite animal is going to be a lemur after that if you haven't watched it yet. Especially the mouse lemur. They're like this big. I know. Cats, especially giant cats. If I could be friends with a tiger, I think I could die. I would die if I was friends with a tiger. Giant paws. Snakes. I love reptiles. I won't keep reptiles because I've had a lot of pet reptiles when I was a kid and a teenager. I had a pet monitor lizard. She was about this big, and she was the best. She was the best. Me and her were best friends. I love reptiles. But I have weird views on pets, and I don't want to keep reptiles because I don't like the idea of keeping them in tanks. But I wish I didn't feel that way because if I could have reptiles again, I would. But I'm not gonna. What else do I love? Farm animals. Farm animals are like my favorite to be around. I have chickens. I want many more chickens. I want ducks. I want sheeps. I spent a while interning on a farm down the street, like a half a block away from my house. Lucky, I know. And she is, I guess you could call her a rancher rather than a farmer because she raises animals for her meat and milk and egg CSA. And I interned with her for about a half a year, and her animals are the best. She's got goats and sheep and cows, and I just love being around those kinds of animals. I love them. I love them. Except for pigs. Pigs are jerks. I still like them, but they're jerks. Goats are jerks too, but I still love them. Anyway, those are there's a list of my favorite animals right now, and it changes all the time. I can't even begin to describe how happy animals make me. Like I said, if I could sit in a room with a bunch of animals all day long, I'd be good. Food is my other favorite thing. I've been a cook since I was a kid. I didn't grow up with great food. My mom's not that into cooking. And, I grew up on Hamburger Helper and meatloaf. And not to say I don't like meatloaf. I like meatloaf. But, food that was, my parents both worked full time and didn't stress home cooking from Whole Foods that much. So I didn't really know food that well until I started learning how to cook it. And then I really fell in love with it. And I love cooking and I love baking. And I love using good local whole ingredients. I love vegetables. I love grains. I love meat. I love food. Love food. And I love cooking. I love cooking so much. It's my favorite thing to do. I taught myself how to cook when I was a kid, and I was horrible at it for a long time. And then in my mid-20s, I was still cooking, and I started getting better at it. And now I think I'm pretty good. I practice a lot. My favorite kinds of things to cook really are big one-pot meals. I love stews. I love beans and sausage sort of things. Things where everything just goes into one pot. You sear your thing at the beginning, and then you put other stuff in it, and then it just simmers for hours. And that's my favorite kind of meal to make. It's my favorite kind of meal to eat. I love that kind of stuff. I don't use a crock pot. I use Dutch ovens on my gas stove. That's my preferred way to cook things. And yeah, food makes me really happy. I love food and I love cooking it. And then fiber. Fiber is my other favorite thing in the whole entire world. I love wool. It's one of those other things where just sit me in a pile of wool and I could be really happy. And, you know, I won't go too much into that because I talk about it all the time on this thing here to you. So you know how much I love fiber and wool. And it hit me like a couple years ago that all three of those things are like, they have their source in common, and it's animals. Food comes from plants too, but I love animals, and I love what they give me in terms of food and fiber. And I think that's why my ideal life, I think, is raising animals and food plants and feeding and clothing myself and my family. So those are my 3 favorite things, and I feel like they're all connected, and that makes me really happy. So there's a little bit of that. I would love to hear what your favorite things are if you would like to share. Go over to the Ravelry group, Squirrel Pie Productions. Go into the episode thread for this episode, episode number 7, and tell me what you love. I'm sure you love fiber too. Tell me about it. Tell me about the other things you love unrelated to fiber. I want to hear all about it. Talk about your favorite things. If you want to do a list, give me your top 3 favorite things in the entire world. I want to hear about it. So that's it for today. It is episode number 7 of Squirrel Pie Productions, and I really hope you liked it. If you did, and you want to be kept up to date with the future episodes that come out, please subscribe, join the Ravelry group. That's where you can enter the knit along for the contrast cow. And I hope you guys have a really great week. I will see you next time. Bye!